Hi folks, my name is Pat Harrison. My company's name is the Shoot Straight Company, and we make powder packers. Powder Pack Supreme and the Powder Pack Pro. And some of you may be asking, what's a muzzleload powder packer? Well, it's a device that will load your muzzleload rifle with the same amount of ramrod packing pressure each shot. Consistent ramrod packing pressure is one of those mandatory things we have to have if we want excellent groups, excellent bullet groups with our muzzleloaders at 100 yards. This will give us the same compression for each shot, and it eliminates the high and low shots because it gives us consistent muzzle velocity. And when you have consistent muzzle velocity, you eliminate your high and your low shots. I'm doing this for a friend of mine, and he just bought a new TC bone collector, real nice rifle, and he's never shot one before, and he asked me if I'd tell him how to do all this, and I thought maybe we'll just try a video instead. So, you know, cut me a little slack on this, but I'm sure I'm going to make a few errors. But over here on the side I have some muzzleload basics, and I don't think there'll be much argument on these. One of them here is the first one is good shooting skills, and not all of us have good shooting skills, but one of the easiest ways to get good shooting skills is to use a rest, especially when you're at the gun range. You know, any type of rest is better than no rest. When you're hunting, you can you know, find a tree. If you're hunting on the ground, use a tree in the rest, or you know, buy one of the collapsible rests in the sporting goods stores. But it's always good to have a rest. Number two is consistent ramrod packing pressure. That's what Powder Pack Supreme does. Number three, clean barrels shoot better than dirty barrels when shooting Sabbaths. Now, I know a lot of folks are shooting the Blackhorn 209 powder, and that's a very clean powder. I haven't shot it yet, but everything I've heard about it says it's a very clean powder. So you probably don't need to clean after every shot. But if you're shooting the other powders, the Pyrodex, the 777 black powder, whether it's the granular powder or the pellets, clean after every shot when you're at the range, because those are much dirtier powders. To get the good 1-inch, 2-inch groups at 100 yards, we need to adjust the powder charge load to the bullet. That's a must. That's about the only way to get those good groups. You have to adjust the powder charge to the bullet, or change bullets if you're shooting the pellets, but you have to adjust that powder charge to the bullet. The fifth basic would be hot, consistent powder ignition, and the new inlines now shoot the 209 shot shell primer, which is a very, very hot ignition. And there's a product on the market that my company sells called MagSpark, which is a 209 shot shell primer adapter that goes on the side hammer guns, which gives very, very hot ignition. It'll also let you shoot the Blackhorn 209 powder out of side hammer guns if you know, you have the MagSpark 209 adapter on there. So I'm going to start pretty much from the beginning here for my friend, and I know some of you already know all this, but he doesn't, so just bear with me here for a minute. This here is an Invest Arms side hammer gun, 1 48-inch twist. I know the experts say that this gun will not shoot 2-inch groups or 1-inch groups at 100 yards. They're wrong. This gun will shoot 1-inch groups, does it all the time at 100 yards. So don't let the 1 48-inch twist scare you from shooting your side hammer gun. Now, before we go any farther, let's check to see if this thing's unloaded. Now, my friend Brian, he's got of course, an inline, so he can just pull the breech plug out if he doesn't know if it's loaded. But let's just say we don't know that this gun's loaded. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure there's no cap on here. Now, I've taken off the number 11 nipple and put the MagSpark on here, the 209 shot shell primer adapter. So first I'm going to take off this top. There are two pieces to the MagSpark. One part goes in, screws into the gun, the other part's a little cap here. Okay, I'm going to look to make sure there's no primer in there, no 209 primer. There is no 209 primer. So I'm going to put the cap back on. We know that this thing will not go off, we just don't know if it's loaded or not, if there's anything in the barrel. Okay, so the way you do this on a side hammer gun is you can see where the breech plug starts, which is right here, and it's going to screw in to about right here because there's about 1 inch threads on these breech plugs. So it's into about here. So you can, there's a couple ways. We're going to do it this way first. We know where the breech plug should be, about right here. Okay? Now, that means that this ramrod should be sticking out of this gun when empty about right there. Okay? Now, the other way we're going to do it is we're going to just put the ramrod in the barrel and see how far down it goes. Mark it, which is basically right here where the brass is. That's about how far down in the barrel it went, or that's what's sticking up right there, okay? I was off a little bit on my judgment here of the breech plug, but anyway. So we're going to line this up right here, the brass that was sticking out, and we're going to bring it down here. To see how far it is down here, and that's about right. I knew this gun was unloaded anyway, but just to check it, we're good. This gun is not loaded. There's nothing in the barrel. Okay. So now it's safe to mess around with this thing. Since